Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another week of Mic'd Up with AJ and TJ. I'm your host, AJ, and I'm with the face that runs the place, TJ. How's it going, girl?
It's going amazing. So we're actually filming this on Good Friday. Hopefully everyone had a great end to their week. We're heading into the holiday. So however you celebrate that, hopefully it's done safely with those you care about, those you love. And of course, we're going to talk kicks today. More specifically, we see, we want to make sure we get this if you're
Shameless
watching.
plug, shameless plug.
Like it's for myself, act your age, not your shoe size, crew neck. So thank you everyone for your patience in getting these out. A Fresh Culture and myself had one hell of a time trying to get them out to you all, but nonetheless, they've shipped out. Everyone, you've provided great feedback on the quality, your satisfaction with the crew neck. So very happy about that. Stay tuned. I'm pretty sure with spring here, we'll get back to the original design for t-shirts. So again, stay tuned for that on my Instagram at talkside or at a Fresh Culture. I'm pretty sure we'll have an announcement whenever we are set to do another run of shirts. But yeah, AJ got his pretty much,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. This is the first time I'm wearing this one because I,
Okay.
I also got the tan one. It feels like I'm wearing a Fear of God hoodie. I'm not even lying.
You're
Not
the
even lying.
person to actually say that.
It feels like I'm wearing a Fear of God. It's just like the way it sits. Like let me stand up and show you guys. So I
It is
usually sit.
with the heavier weight. We wanted to make sure the quality was there, especially if you're in colder climates. And you guys know him being in the Midwest. Listen, weather gets terrible. You see, he's ready for his photo shoot debut.
We got our Soul Premise bags in the back. We got our monster. Shout out to Wall Kicks for the lit wall kicks right here. It's make sure you go buy some of those right now.
Absolutely. So you guys know we are. It's like a full circle of support for the brands that support us, and then anything we're doing. So, and if you guys catch AJ out at any events just recently, if you caught him at the last event he hosted, he actually did wear the OG. He wore the black shirt. So. You can always actually find me kind of at events, even though I'm not at events, which is a pretty cool reality.
Soon, you
Speaking
never know. You never know. I'm trying to
never
get her to go out to events like ASAP.
me out. They're trying to get me out of the house and get me to an event soon. So I guess just stay tuned this spring. Again, if something, if I have news to share of myself being at an event, I'll absolutely let you guys know. So sneakers
Ooh.
are changing, right? It's not what it
Mhm.
used to be, and we've always heard that things change. It's inevitable, but now we're moving into, and this is just me, like trying to play, you know, devil's advocate and just asking the question more so to those who are not behind the scenes in terms of creating, influencing, hosting. Right, you're not on the inside, I guess, as I
Yeah.
would label myself with AJ hosting the events, and then myself for actually creating and crafting the content and putting it out there. The landscape is different, wherein you can't really get shoes as easily as you used to. We know that Nike and other brands are really moving towards that B2C, so direct business to consumer. They've kind of severed certain ties with the mom and pop shops, and so
Yeah.
now it's the traditional brick and mortar retailer stores that still have these accounts. But even with those and apps and raffles, it's different of how you're able to secure the sneaker. We know the Flex app changed everything under, for the Foot Locker umbrella. So that's Foot Locker, Kids Foot Locker, Lady Foot Locker, Champ Sports, and Foot Action. They're all merged now under one, which means the first come first serve went away, of course, with the pandemic. But now are they totally taking that away? Remember, if pairs were still sitting after that 48-hour period, you were able to go in store and pick those up. Now they're throwing them back on the app. So AJ, like, what is that going to mean for people in terms of buying shoes?
Um. So for the people who, I mean, I feel it's gonna affect more resellers and content creators because certain content creators like to go, hey, like, I know I can go to this store and pick them up. Can't do that no more because, like you said, they're going to put them back on the app. Now, are the apps going to crash because so many people are going to be on it? Like, are we looking at like every week or every 2 weeks? Like, think about it. If they know that in 48 hours by 6 p.m., whatever, blah, 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 it's going to be back on the app. Everybody and their mother is going to be back on the app.
Yeah,
So
I'm not sure how they're going to do that. I'm not sure if they should
They're gonna have to
Stack.
up the servers or something, or just say, "Hey, we're gonna tweet out a link or something." See, that's the thing. But this and another thing is, this is where the botters are gonna come in. Like now, I guess you're gonna have no choice but to bot. People who are against botting might have to bot.
And I've heard people say that they're against botting for grand scale reselling, but
Yeah.
if they're botting for their own individual pairs, or I'm just trying to get my family's pair, I'm just trying to get my pair, maybe my girl,
Mhm.
my husband's pair, and the kids, and that's it. A lot of people are actually okay with that. They don't have an issue with botting for personal use,
Yeah, yeah,
with botting, as they say, to knock someone over the head with the resale price. And I'm there with you. And I know some people say, well, resellers are going to be the ones that really eat and really cook, because of course it's, oh well, you need the points, and you only get the points on the apps if you're spending money like that. So that plays up to resellers, and not just individual people that are buying for the toe, buying for themselves, but not buying to flip. So I know some argue, oh well, resellers, they'll really thrive, but kind of like you said, will you be able to? Because some are going through their connects at
mhm.
stores to be able to get more than just one pair, in certain sizing, and then that's how they actually can service their clientele. So I guess that's almost, is somebody willing to risk the job that they have at one of these retailers,
Yeah,
just sure you're still the inside person for that reseller. I don't know that everybody is going to be willing to do that. And then now that reseller is up against everyone, again, everybody is up against bots. Like you said, if it's just thrown back on the app, we all will know the time it's thrown back on. So I don't know if they would do like a cadence. Like you almost need to do a cadence across the country where, West Coast, and you have this time to go on and try to,
yeah.
Midwest, you have this time, East Coast, you have this time. That's
I
almost,
mean, you could, or they can do something what sneakers has been. You know, the sneaker passes, how they have like certain cities. I mean, it could be something like that. But this is going to be very, very interesting to see because a lot of people are probably, running around in circles right now. Like, where are we going to get our early pairs? And it's
yeah,
always going to come down to the early pairs for the content creators, because that's what a lot of content creators make their bucks out of, you
and
know.
that's what's so interesting, that you have two, vastly different worlds. You have the content creators where it pays for you to pay the extra money. If you're
Mhm.
getting the views and the feedback you want, that you're after, then it pays for you to spend the extra money up front, because again, they're not getting these shoes for retail. They're having to dish out more money to whoever
Mhm.
their connect is to be able to get that shoe early. Just understand there's a business transaction there occurring. So they're paying more money to get the shoe early to you, to get it out for content. That's typically something you see on YouTube, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that you'll see that on Instagram too, right? It's all, you're still trying to get the clicks, you're trying to get the likes for you to have a shoe out early. And then you have just the common everyday consumer. So they're the ones viewing the content, interacting with it, engaging with it. And so my question is then, if that's you, you have nothing to do with content, like you're only on YouTube to view, you're only on Instagram to, engage, and you're not purposely creating content, does a disconnect happen with what you're
Mhm.
seeing, because it becomes impossible for you to get a shoe that you want at retail, just regular
Yeah.
retail costs, but all you're seeing is early shoe after early shoe on your timeline on YouTube. You're seeing early shoe after early shoe on Instagram. So, and again, this could be influencers, it could be people part of campaigns. So I understand I'm not totally absolved of this. Like for example, so if you guys are watching, I did a project with Chicks and Kicks Daily, so I was able to get the Spartan pair of Dunk Highs, and then the Michigan pair, and we know that both of these are coming back out and low. So if you're constantly seeing that, is there a disconnect that eventually happens where you're like, why am I tuning into something that I can't have?
Yeah.
Like if you watch, for example, I know everyone's at some point, if you're an adult, you've watched HGTV. I'm sorry, you just have.
I
And
still watch it.
listen, it happens. You get sucked in, and you either want to try things in your home, or you're then looking at these grandiose homes that you have
House
no.
Hunter. I mean, I'm just saying House Hunter, what is it? Property Brothers. And hey,
You
yeah, I mean, I watch, I'm a nerd. I stay home. Because I mean, again, yeah, you're right.
listen, pre-pandemic, I was at home all the time anyway, so
I
this
mean,
isn't.
but but you are right in a way, because everybody looks at something. I mean, I like big homes. I like to see what they're doing, what they do with their garage, what they do with their man caves. And It's just gives you ideas. Yeah, you might not be able to spend that million, 2 million, 3 million, whatever they have, but at least you can say, hey, I like that color scheme, blah, 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 blah. I just feel with the sneakers, man. So let me ask you this on the Flex app, because believe it or not, I still have not used the Flex app. I refuse to use it. I really don't care for it. Now, do they know how many pairs are in each store? Like, or is that more on like corporate side?
So I will say that's at least more on corporate side. Like I know just from store knowledge, the store will know how many pairs they get in for their shipment,
Mm-hmm.
and then the manager, store manager has to actually make sure those are loaded for the raffle to successfully.
Okay. Okay. So this is what I have now. So the manager has to load the shoes. It's not done from back end like corporate or whatever, right?
I think
Now,
so. And corporate knows the number and size runs that should be in there. I think the manager and I'm pretty sure has to go in, validate, because let's say this, if your shipment comes in too late before raffle responses go out to let you know if you've won or if you've lost.
mhm.
If the shipment comes in late and you can't get it loaded into the system correctly before the raffle runs, then that's when you'll have stores that say, hey, we have to re-raffle everything. So
Okay, so
they have.
now what if they say, okay, say they get 100 pairs or something, right?
Okay.
The manager's like, hey, maybe I'll only put up 80 pairs. And the 20 pairs, the reason I'm saying is because a lot of this, like the influencers, whoever, wherever they get their shoes from, most of the time it is managers that can make that happen. I
Right. Yeah.
don't,
It's not going to be just a regular part time person.
so that's what I'm saying. So you never know. Cause I mean, a manager could say, like, okay, yeah, I could sell it to this guy. I mean, it'll be a legal transaction, but maybe the guy throws him extra.
Is there a way for them to do that? Possibly. Is that getting into very murky waters? Yes, because now you're
Yeah.
trying to possibly skirt a system. Let's say you think you have it figured out, and what if you think you have it figured out, and then you run into an issue where similar what in the Chicago area, you sell someone's raffled pair that they won.
Mm,
So
yeah.
that, yeah, I think that it does it happen. I would imagine everything happens in some capacity somewhere in the world or in the country. So I'm guessing that does. I mean, I've heard the horror stories of managers like backdooring whole boxes, like a whole box
Yeah.
will come in and it just goes out to whoever it goes out to. To me, that's still not worth risking the job that you have, because if you've worked to become a manager, let's say full-time assistant, full-time store manager, I would have to think you're doing that with intention or aspirations to go just beyond, the retail sector. You want to move further up within the corporate side of
Mhm.
the brands, whether it's being a regional manager, district manager. So I would hope you wouldn't like risk your job just for
Yeah.
the thing. That reseller will move on to find another connect or another plug long after you're fired.
Yeah. True.
They'll find somebody else. So if the resellers have built their connection strongly, I think they'll still find a way. For the average person, like, okay, let's say you hop on sneaker YouTube. At this point, by the time a shoe releases for retail, I won't lie, it's almost overkill at that point.
Yeah.
Like you're almost at fatigue of seeing the shoe, because the shoe has already been on YouTube for at least a month
Yeah.
minimum. It's been on YouTube, and then everyone else starts to fluctuate, filter in with all of their reviews. And so it's like, okay, I've seen the shoe a million
Yeah.
different times. Once the shoe finally comes out, and then the regular consumer can't get the shoe, do they then ask themselves, why am I putting myself through this like every single month? Like, why am I consuming the content for
Yeah.
things I know I can't get? Like, you can be into homes, you could be into HGTV, but after a while, don't you eventually lose interest in viewing a 7, 8, 9, $10 million home when your
Thanks.
uh, income as a family may only be like $100,000? Like, you're not grossing what needs to be made for a bank to lend you the money to get a $6, $7 million home. So, not even that the shoes are so expensive for retail, you just can't even get access to the shoe.
Yeah.
And people say, I don't want to pay resale. So,
Yeah. I
you've
mean, the way it's gonna go now, most likely everybody's gonna have to pay resale. Like, you know.
have to pay resale, and I say that because listen, collectively, could people come together and just not pay, let's say, for a certain period of time, and that really shock the system? Sure. Will that happen? No.
Just go to eBay.
It's just not. It's not gonna happen. And I think the only way you have content not geared towards the hold or sell, the only
Mhm.
way you really go toward, you get away from that is if their viewership would just totally just turn away from it.
I mean, you're
Now,
probably going to see a lot. You're going to probably see a lot of sneaker YouTube instead of having them in hand is probably doing more just pictures popping up. First look.
listen, so that and it's so a common theme, and I've done these videos before. I got away from them because there was other content that I wanted to do. But yeah, it's a common thing, of course, to run down the shoes that are coming out if you're ever curious, because there are so many that come out. Like I'll watch Seth Fowler's video just so I do know, hey, what's I guess you could say what's on the list coming out for the month, and he'll do it twice during the month because there are so many shoes that come out. So his is more so if he thinks it will sell out, if he thinks it won't, to give the viewer an understanding. Do I
Mhm.
need to rush out and try to get it, or can I wait? Maybe it'll go on sale, but nothing is just sitting there nowadays. Like you look at the
Mhm.
uproar over what the Nike, the structure, the Tri-X. Look at the outrage, like all of the, and I say older heads, but I'm in that same
Yeah.
category. Look at how many people are upset they couldn't get their hands on that shoe. It's just a basic non-hype from the 90s shoe that we remember seeing, and it's sold out now, not in kids, in men. So kids,
Yeah.
if you wear grade school sizing, so women or even men, 'cause I know some men can wear sevens, check out your local Finish Lines because I know they have them available. I walked in, picked it up, and saw it, and I thought, man, I might get this. The
Yeah.
only reason I didn't is because I picked up a shoe I've wanted for so long off eBay. I was finally able to pick up the Nike Flyknit Trainer Oreo, the predominantly
Right.
black pair. So that's on the way. He's smiling because he's happy it's a Flyknit Trainer.
I my favorite. It's honestly one of my. It is probably my favorite Nike running shoes, and I love. That's number one. Number two is the Space Hippie.
What about the Racer?
Flyknit Racers, yeah. Flyknit Racers number one. Flyknit Racers and number. I mean, trainers are number two for me. Three
Okay.
is a Space Hippie.
Okay. And it's funny.
If
I'll give
y'all
you
haven't tried on the Space Hippies, and I
there and
have the Space Hippie
there
four,
if you I know if you go to Finish Line,
they're
especially
$100.
women's side, they have like a whole row of Space
Yeah,
Hippie. I believe four. I believe Space Hippie
the
4 is
fours. I love the
so.
fours.
Go out to your stores, check them out. I guess I'm at an advantage that again the Structure Tri-X is available
Yeah,
still. So I'm really torn between that, and then there's like an old Pegasus 91 that gives me like old
I love the
US
Pegasus. Yeah,
basketball vibes, and so I'm really digging on that shoe. But yeah, that
Tailwind is another shoe. The Tailwind.
the Tailwind is another one. Like, but so some of them are still available, but when
Yeah,
you do, like, I'm trying to figure out why the Structure sold out, and is it just because people thought it might have some resale value
yeah,
that everybody is just buying up everything with the hopes they can make money from it?
yeah. I just feel like, and this is what I've noticed. A lot of we always say resellers are like Jordans and blah blah blah, this and that. No, there's people that sell on Amazon and this and that, which is crazy. If you go on eBay, you'll find tons of normal Nike runners, and they're selling for a lot. And these are the people most likely are buying them from outlets or Marshalls or Ross or what's the other, Burlington, and they're putting it on eBay
Yeah.
because again, eBay has like
You know
they have
what?
like the lowest fees compared to
Funny
anybody.
you said that. So this
I
here
just saw
was
those. I just saw those at Marshalls.
Fear God Skid Grip. Listen, if you missed out and you just didn't want to pay, I think this was 115 or 120. I don't
Let me see
totally
the
remember.
back of those.
This is at either Marshalls or Burlington, and I'm
39.
like $25 to $50.
Yeah.
So if you want the shoe, go buy it. But like he said, people are finding deals and they just stick them up on sites to be able to sell them and make a profit. So that's happening. I mean, listen, didn't we learn that with Ann Hebert's son, with Joe? He would go and buy Vapor Maxes on discount because no
Mhm.
matter what, there's always someone who wants a Vapor Max, and I saw the same thing. So if you remember the brand new Flyknit Vapor Max 3s, yeah, I think it's considered like
Yeah.
the third, and the white, black, and Bolt colorway. So that's
Mhm.
available in grade school on eBay right now, $100. I would still have to pay more than that in store with my discount. I have that in my
Yeah.
cart right now because I'm super tempted to just pull the trigger. And I can bet you what happened. Somebody saw them at an outlet. They
Yeah.
probably picked them up for $50 or $75. So if they're selling at least 10 of them and they're still making a $25 profit, listen, they've pretty much made up what they had to do in the legwork to get it.
Yeah. eBay needs to contact me real quick because I got a few things in my cart. Hey, they like they like a lot of my posts. I see them. I see you, eBay. I
Yep.
see you. Look at me right now. I see you guys liking my posts. You guys gotta, hit me up. I got a few things in my cart that I need to purchase.
So that's the same thing with you. So you and eBay is kind of like me and City Gear, right? You've worked with City Gear and they'll like my posts. I work with eBay, they'll like your post.
Yeah, what
But
is that? I mean, hey, shout out to City Gear, shout out to Hibbett Sports. Um, it was dope. I actually wore the Air Maxes again yesterday. They were comfortable, very,
we did
very comfortable. I'm just let's see what they send me next. What's this month? Anything special coming out this month?
April. I don't know. So I'm that part I'm not sure just because they dropped the city pack. So if you were to get
Oh yeah,
something
the Air Max, the Chicago's were fire. The 90s.
95, well the 95, no,
The
they
New
had the
York was 95. The yellow ones, low key, I think I need those. I'm gonna hit up the connect at Hibbett and be like, hey, I might need those. They're
you should
fire. And they're
get the 90,
such a bright yellow. It's ridiculous, but it's awesome.
the 97s are, I've seen them. So we had them in store. And the problem is they sold out 6.5, 7 was gone before I even had the chance to get in store.
97 was which city was that one?
LA. So it was this
Okay,
all
yeah.
citrus bright orange.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they picked like, what's gonna be what, because yeah, I mean I could see 90s being
I got
Chicago,
red. Who was yellow again?
New York. No, I'm talking about the silhouette of the shoe.
Well, I think they just tried to pick the most iconic Air Maxes.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, like, I would see like the 90s being LA. I would see 90s being LA. Like Air Max 90, I feel like that's like LA vibe. I feel 90s and 95. I mean, yeah,
I could see
97 is good.
7 being LA because LA is considered what, like cutting edge and head turning, and the
Yeah,
97 heads because it was the first full length air zoom unit that was
yeah,
made,
that's true.
and it's like the sleeker design on the upper. So I get LA getting the 97. I definitely get Chicago being the 90. I mean, you guys are pretty big, bold, and boisterous. So
Yeah, I would, man, I wonder how I mean, as much as I love the 90s, I think the 95 would be dope in like if they did more Chicago. See, look, they did the all red. I get that, but Chicago is not only, I mean, is all red. Like we have red stars, it's baby blue. It's the same as the Trophy Room 5 colorways, literally that colorway.
do you remember when Kanye would always wear like the hyperfuse 90s,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
all blue, the all red? I
Yeah.
want them to bring those back. I remember there was a all infrared pair of like hyperfuse 90s that
Yeah.
really,
It was the one with the more of like the fly nitty top, right? I got the
so
silver one sitting right, the all silver.
super lightweight. Yeah.
I have the all silver ones. They're like they have a little 3M hit. And that was Kanye made them because it wasn't a 90, it wasn't a 91, it wasn't a Air Max 1, it was the Fuse, which was kind of dope.
Yeah, because people, and I'm not sure why. Like when they decided to remix Air Max and Flyknit together, I thought that was perfect. Now that I don't think they ever did it with the 95, but they absolutely did it with the
No.
Air One, the Air Max 90, the
Mhm.
Air Force One, which the Air Force One needed such a makeover in terms of being heavy.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad they did it with those, but those were pairs that were well worth the pickup in the remix. And again, not
Yeah.
everyone
No. Facts.
styles not having the traditional leather and canvas and suede, but I think the Flyknit was a really nice touch.
I would
So
love to see the Flyknit Racer with another bottom. That would be dope. Like the full Flyknit Racer, not the trainer, the Racer,
okay.
because you know it's like a lot lighter. Like, can you imagine that with like a 97 bottom? That'd be kind of dope.
I mean, they already did what? So you had Sean Witherspoon do the one in the 97.
Yeah, but this would be the Flyknit Racer, because the Flyknit Racer, again, they're very slept on, but there are some pairs out there that are like mad expensive.
So maybe down the line you'll see them fusing
You never know,
the
man.
soles and uppers of different pairs.
Yeah. The only thing
People
with the racers, Flyknit is
with
very narrow in the front. It has like that pointy. So it would have to be more of like an Air Max 1 bottom. Because the Air Max 1 is more pointy. Air Max 90 have the rounder front.
yeah, they'd have to be very strategic in what they do.
Yeah.
Here's the only problem, people. Would you even be able to get your hands on them? And
No.
that was really the question for today. Would you be
Nope.
able to get your hands on them? And the more difficult it is to attain a shoe, are you still going to consume really the content at the same rate and volume you do now, knowing that you like it, but it's kind of like somebody dangling a carrot in front of you, and then they're constantly just taking it away out of your reach. So thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Mic'd Up with AJ and TJ. As you guys know, this is sponsored by OMF On My Feet Network, which you guys can definitely go to your app store, whether it's for iOS or Android store. Download the app. It's all things kicks. Feel free to post any and every kick picture you have.
Mhm.
Have fun. That's exactly what it's there for. AJ, anything else before we tune out?
I'm gonna be in San Antonio next weekend. April 10th, I believe. Yeah, 10th and 11th. I will be in San Antonio for San Antonio Sneaker Expo. Of course, your boy is hosting. And the weekend after that, I will be in Indiana, Crown Point, Indiana. So I'm coming closer and closer. It's back to the Midwest, and it's getting crazy. Few events are like lined up, but catch me at the events. I'm always posting. Make sure you check out Ty87 Kicks on Instagram, and you will see everywhere that I go. Join me on my journey.
Absolutely. You guys can check me out on YouTube at Talks with TJ or on Instagram at talks.with.tj. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. As always, we appreciate you. Act your age, not your shoe size. Peace out.
Peace.